What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout spot where you already know it's real talk, boxing talk, and interviews live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and I'm your host for another edition of the Hangout spot live. This time, the Tuesday night edition. And I just wanted to thank everybody for rocking out last week. Last week, we actually did 3 shows, which is probably going to be the common theme going forward, man. We had Brian Norman Sr., trainer and father of the WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr., the assassin. He was on Monday. We were breaking down the Boots performance, and we were talking a little bit about Brian Jr.'s future in the welterweight division. And then Tuesday, we had Albert Bell, undefeated now lightweight. Albert Prince Bell, he was in the building as well. You know, he's my guy, and he won last week, so I wanted to get him on. He's now 28-0, and he talked about that performance and, more importantly, his future as well. And then Thursday, man, we had a banger, man. We had a prospect, man. We had a junior welterweight prospect by the name of Kamari King Cam Walker, 5-0 with 5 knockouts. He was in the building. And not only that, his dad and coach, Marcus Walker, he also joined us as well. It was a phenomenal interview. I urge all of you to go to the Hangout spot on YouTube and make sure you check out all 3 of those shows, as well as all my other live shows, interviews. We got banging content on there. And tonight is no different. Tonight we have a super featherweight in the building. My man from Florida, Puerto Rican, Dominic Valle, who has 10-0 with 7 knockouts. He's going to be in the building with us. Great young man with a bright future. I actually interviewed him live at a Pro Box event in November. It was a great 10 minutes, but I told him, I said, once he gets a fight on the books, I got to get him back here on the show because it was such a good interview that 10 minutes just isn't enough, and I needed my audience to make sure that, that they got that quality time, right, to get to know not only a top prospect with a bright future, but he's got a lot going for himself outside of boxing as well. He also models. There's a lot of different things he does. He's trained by my guy, Coach Marc Farrait, and they train over at the Pro Box facility. And y'all already know Pro Box is family. All the fighters, the people at Pro Box, they treat me like family, so they are family as well. So we got to show my man Dominic some love. But before I get him on in there, y'all already know the deal, man. There's ground rules here at the Hangout spot, man. If you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. If you're watching this live, we're also streaming this on Facebook. If you're watching this live, make sure you hit that like button, smash that like button, as it will help with the visibility of the channel. The goal is to get this channel out into the algorithm of other boxing fans so they know we rock out 2 times, sometimes 3 times a week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have not subscribed to the Hangout spot on YouTube, make sure you do that. More importantly, tell a friend to tell a friend. If we intend on turning this train into a locomotive in 2025, we're going to need more passengers on this train. So if you're on Facebook, I urge you, come over to the channel here on YouTube and make sure you hit that subscribe button and tell somebody else to do that as well. This is how it goes down at the Hangout spot. Last but not least, y'all know the deal. The chat is open and I want to get y'all involved. And you know the deal. I like to get the chat involved, but when the chat is cooking and there's just so many people commenting, asking questions, it's hard for me to sift through, all the comments to pull out the questions. I'd love to get some questions from the audience in the chat, but the easiest way is to super chat your questions because I actually see those come up obviously as a starred message, so I can read those, I can see those, and I'll make sure I will read those because, again, those are donations. If you want to make a donation, that's the best way to do it. Super chat, super sticker, or if you want to make a donation to my Cash App, it is down below, scrolling at the bottom of my screen. I appreciate all of you guys, though, for rocking out. But, without further ado, like I said, super featherweight prospect in the building. He trains at the Pro Box facility, and he's 10-0 currently with 7 knockouts, an extremely bright future. My man, let's bring him in, man. Dominic Valle, what's going on, my brother? Welcome to the Hangout spot, man.
What's going on, man? How you doing? Happy to be here.
No, man, listen, bro, I'm happy to have you, man. Like I told my viewers a couple minutes ago, we did a nice live interview, and I want to thank you for that. Back in November, there was a Pro Box card that was on. You were supposed to fight on that card. I remember telling you.
Yep.
I was disappointed not to see you fight, but I was happy that I was able to get a good interview. It was a great 10 minutes, and but it just wasn't enough, bro. It just wasn't enough. I had to get you back on. You're smart. You're inquisitive. You know the sport. You got a lot of stuff going on for you with the family and outside of boxing. So I just wanted to kind of introduce you to my community, man. You're doing it up, man.
Yes, sir. I try. You know what I mean? I got this one life, so I'm going all out on it.
For sure, man. So I just wanted to put this up right now because there's many faces to Dominic Valle, who's 10-0, 7 knockouts. He's from Florida, but from Puerto Rican descent.
Yep.
So of course I had to throw on the Puerto Rican hat,
Of
to
course.
represent, my peoples. You know what I'm saying?
Boy,
But not only is he an exciting fighter, but he's also a model, which you don't see that often. I mean, you don't see that often in the world of boxing. You know what I mean?
it
So
don't feel like the two go together. You know what I mean?
well, I shout out to you because I actually saw. I think you did an interview with somebody, but you put a clip on it in IG last week, right? And they were talking to you about modeling, and you said, "Well, I got a pretty face, but it's not just to get punched in the face." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's the way it is. I mean, I never expected a model, but I mean, when the opportunity presented itself, I mean, I took it.
I want to talk about that. I do want to talk about that. That's in a little bit. But first and foremost, what I want to do is the last time we saw you in the ring, champ, was back in August in 2024, and obviously we were supposed to see you on that November card, but you were dealing with some little nagging injuries. How are you feeling right now, physically, first and foremost?
Physically, I'm better than I've ever been. I mean, this camp has been an amazing camp. So I mean, my body is responding the way it should be. Everything we do, it's responding perfectly. So my body's not concerned. It's at its peak right now, and that's how I'm going into the ring.
So, yeah, because I know that again, like when we spoke, you were very, very disappointed, like because you wanted to be on that card. Um, was that more of a precautionary thing, just getting by an injury, or did you need that time to heal up to get to where you are today, which
It
is
was
the May
definitely
10th fight?
it was definitely more precautionary. My coach, me and my coach have a great relationship. So, he advised me, let's sit this one out. We're in no rush. We don't got nothing to prove. You know what I mean? We're gonna take your body through the steps it needs to be taken through in order to be healthy. So, he was like, I was me pushing. I was pushing. I was like, I want to get in there. I want to go through it. You know what I mean? That's me being the young, eager fighter that I am. You know what I mean? I don't want to disappoint nobody. I want to be in there. I want to be under the lights. I want to be showing my skill set to the world. You know what I mean? And when I don't get the opportunity to do that, it really upsets me. But at the same time, I got a great coach. I got a great family that advises me in the correct direction.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I'm excited. I'm excited about May 10th. That's when you'll be back in the ring. It'll be almost a full 9 months since your last fight, like we just spoke about. It's on a stack card, man. It's in Kissimmee. And I think the best part about it, at least for me, and you and you, I'm sure you may agree, is that you have a lot of your brothers, your stablemates that are on that card as well, man. You got Lubin headlining. It's going to be a great main event against Ardrell Holmes.
Yeah,
You got Najee Lopez on the card. You got Darrell Blasval Saint. I mean, these are all your brothers, your stablemates. How
yeah,
excited are you, not just to get back in the ring, but to be
yeah.
fighting on this card with your boys?
I mean, it hasn't happened like this yet. You know what I mean? We haven't all four been on the same card, and to have Erickson Lubin, I mean, everybody knows Erickson Lubin. He's hammer. He's that guy, and he's been in this game for a while now. And being on the undercard of him is something that I dreamed of one day. You know what I mean? And obviously my brothers coming up with Blast and Najee. Those are my right hand man. You know what I mean? I'm with them every day. We're in the gym every day, training together. So going through prep together is it's a lot different atmosphere. And we got each other's back through all training camp. So it makes it that much more exciting. That we're all there together working, getting ready for the same fight.
Nah, that's dope. I was gonna ask you that. So I know that there's been cards where some of you guys have fought together, but this is the first time that all of y'all have been on the same card.
Everybody except for my brother Marcus. That's it. But I mean, I don't think we've all of us are better at the same card. And Lubin, he's the newest addition to our stable. You know what I mean? So now him being on the card too is headlining the card is more than we could ask for.
That's dope. That's dope. We're gonna talk about your brother Marcus in a little bit, but talk to me about Lubin. Like you said, he's the newest member of the stable. How has his presence been in the gym?
I mean, you could see the experience. You know what I mean? The experience he has. He's been at this level for longer than any of us. You know what I mean? And he's been at the pinnacle of the sport. I mean, just watching him train, watching him go through his progressions. Watching him spar. It's all learning. A learning process, and I get to witness it firsthand. And I'm a student of the game, so when I have that opportunity, just as well as Edgar Berlanga training with us, same deal. I'm right there. I'm watching everything they're doing. I'm watching their movements. I love learning from the best in the sport, so I take that, anytime I have the chance.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Do you know who you're fighting on May 10th? Because I tried to look on BoxRec, but I didn't see an opponent yet.
I forget his name. But I know he's fought world champions, so it's gonna be a good test. I mean, I know he's been in there with Robeisy Ramirez, so that's one of the guys at the top. So I'm ready to show what I do.
Nah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. The experience obviously matters. Is this going to be an 8-rounder?
8-rounder, yes.
Okay. Good, good, good. That's what's up, man. No, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm
Me
looking
too.
forward to it. I'm here with Dominic Valle, man, the super featherweight prospect, man. He's 10-0, 7 knockouts. Going to be back in the ring May 10th on the Pro Box card in Kissimmee, Florida. I'll be in the building as well for that to show support. I'm really, really excited. I think it's a stacked card from top to bottom. And we got the chat, man. The chat is cooking. They are showing you love. We got Deal, War Ready. That's right, Deal. Thanks for rocking out with us here on a Tuesday night with Dominic Valle. We got David Vasquez. I know this guy. Well, yeah, I should hope so, David. But if you don't know this guy, you're going to know him very, very soon, man. Trust me when I tell you, tune in May 10th, man. Tons of potential, man. And I'm not just saying that because he's my guy. I truly believe that. I've seen you in the ring, and we've spoken about that even before I actually realistically interviewed you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've spoken to Marc Farrait about that too. Shout out to Coach Marc Farrait. We got Luis Guerra in the building. Great boxer. Appreciate you for rocking out with us here, Luis. Hey, we got Dave Blues in the building. What's up, champ? Chilling, man. Heavy Chevy guy. What up, man? Thanks for rocking out with us. This is my peoples from the Boxing Voice. They're coming out. Ashley Ponce, Dominic, giving you a shout out. We got Elias Gonzalez. Let's go, champ. That's right. We got Dominic Valle in the building, man. I'm excited. Channing Elizabeth, undefeated. That's right. 10-0 with 7 via NyQuil. Nights. David Garcia, what up, brother? We here. Salute to the chat, man. Appreciate you. We got Leox Beats, future champ. Yes, I firmly believe that, man. He's definitely got his head screwed on right. He's one smart dude, and we're gonna start picking into that spark brain in just a little bit. But before we do that, champ, I want you to kind of take me back a little bit to where the journey started, man. I always like to get that perspective. That's a part of the interview that we really didn't go over, right? In those 10 minutes. Like, when did you start boxing and what inspired you to box?
I really got I found a love for the game. I mean, when I think I was 6 or 7, and I tell everybody the same story. It was Cotto versus Judah. I remember being in my grandma's house watching the TV and seeing Cotto with the flag behind him, the Puerto Rican flag. All the fans cheering, and there was from that day forward, nothing was in my brain except for I'm gonna be there one day. That was it. And from there, that's where the journey started. We started me and my brother when I was around 6, 7 years old. We were in it for a little bit, kind of just, went away from it for a little bit. But when I was 11, we started up again, full-fledged. We went into it. We went every day. We put a goal in our mind where we're going to get to, and we've worked every single day from then.
So growing up, did you play other sports? Did you compete in other sports? Was it just boxing? What else did you do growing up?
I mean, I enjoy sports in general, so I've tried a little bit of everything. I want to say I haven't done nothing like full-fledged, like putting my all into it, but I've definitely played basketball. I play football, baseball. I've done all that, but, there was nothing that ever really drew me where I can hold that love for any of those sports like I did for boxing. And that's, for me, is when I knew it was my calling, because I've tried other sports when I was little, and from such a young age, when your brain is set on something, that's I don't know what that voice is, but whatever it is telling you this is your path and you better listen to it.
So what age was that? Because again, you said 6 years old, you started to get involved in boxing. But what age do you remember you were like, you know what? This is it, man. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to concentrate on doing because I love it.
It was 6. It was 6. As soon as it
was 6. Okay.
As soon as I watched that Cotto fight, like I said, that was it. That was from that moment forward. I was like, I don't care how my life turns out. I need to be there. Whatever it takes to get there, that's what I'm going to do.
That's dope. Were you at that fight live, or did you see it on TV?
On TV.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was about to say, because we got something in common, because I was actually at that fight live.
That's crazy. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine that fight because that's that fight and not only it being the first fight that I remember actually like laying my eyes on. Just to add to that, it was a great fight. It was an amazing fight to even just watch and be a part of. So I think that's what really drove that love I had for it.
Let me tell you something. The energy in that building was absolutely incredible. You're right. I mean, they
Really,
produced a
from
great fight.
home. I remember feeling it from home.
Ooh, it was crazy, man. And this is why if you are Puerto Rican and you get an opportunity to fight at the Garden, it's
It's
something special, man. I hope one day you get that opportunity because it's gonna be insane. It's gonna
yeah,
be a great experience for you because the fans they come out. It's just a different type of buzz, man. And like you said, it was a great fight,
yep.
as well. But that's dope, man. That's actually dope. And your brother Marcus, he's also a fighter as well. Did he start fighting before you? Is he how old is Marcus?
Marcus is, I think he's 26. Marcus
Okay, so
26.
he's a couple of years older than you.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, Marcus started, we started the same time. When we were little, Marcus actually had an amateur fight, one amateur fight first. And then that's when we kind of like took the break. But he was actually more into it than I was because he was older. So he was actually able to compete. I wasn't able to compete yet. I was still too young. But, when he especially again, seeing him in there, like I just remember like this is what we're meant to do. And I knew it for the both of us that this was the reason we were put on this earth.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Before we go any further, I'm here with Dominic Valle. We got Jiva Med Spa. Let's go, champ. They're here to support you. And let me tell you something. Wifey came out for you, brother.
Yes,
Daniela Guerra.
that's my girl.
Guerra. Hubby, best boxer. I appreciate wifey coming out, man. That's what's up. Thank you for rocking out with us. That is awesome, man. That's absolutely awesome, man. Yeah, this guy is my roommate. That guy is my roommate.
Oh man, yeah, I am.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Nah, they coming out for you, man. They coming out for you, man. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so your amateur career.
Yes,
Um, how many fights did you fight in the amateur, and until you decided, you know what, I think I'm going to take this to the pros.
I had 40. I had 44. I was 41-3 as an amateur. Um, I took the first couple years as an amateur to really just fight local shows, kind of get that experience of being in the ring and feeling that energy. I mean, I would say I had around 8 fights, and from there, we kind of me and my brother and my dad, we kind of had the agreement that like this wasn't gonna do it for us. It's time to take it to the next level. We started in state tournaments. We started in regional tournaments. We finally went to nationals. I won my first nationals when I was 15 in the Silver Gloves Nationals. Um, had to do the whole nine. Had to do the state tournament, followed by the regional tournament in Washington D.C., and then followed by the nationals in Kansas City. So that was the first tournament I won. Then we went to JOs a couple years later. I won the whole Junior Olympics. So that was the second time I won nationals. I was ranked number one in the country. Um, I was going for the Golden Gloves in 2020, and COVID happened. Once COVID happened, I was like, we don't know how long it's going to take. So at that time, we were already with Coach Marc. So we talked about it, and we were like, we don't know how long it's going to take. We don't know what the future is holding. So let's forget the amateurs. Let's forget the Golden Gloves. We don't know when it's going to start up again. Let's go pro.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You mentioned Coach Marc. So when did you start working with Coach Marc? Was it so it was in the amateur? So you actually turned pro with Marc as your coach?
Turn pro with Marc. Yeah, I was training him for I would say 3 months, maybe if that. And then I had my last amateur fight in the Golden Gloves, the state Golden Gloves, which I won. And then we were gonna go to the nationals, and we just we COVID, so we're like, nah, it's all good.
What brought you to Coach Marc? How did you guys kind of link up?
That's actually a funny story. So Marcus, my older brother, he was fighting in the Eastern qualifiers for the Olympic qualifiers, and he was fighting through the tournament. And one of the guys that Marc knew, Stephen Galliano, he was there and he was watching Marcus, and he called Mark and was like, hey, there's actually this guy here that's like a Terminator. Like, people calling him the Terminator. He was walking through everybody. So when they saw him, they told Mark that Mark was actually already looking for people in the Florida area because he was starting a Pro Box. Pro Box was just being started. So we were gonna, go link with them. They were looking for people to train, to sign to Pro Box and all that. So when Steven told Mark that, he was like, yo, like, what a coincidence. I have him and his brother's names circled on a piece of paper already. So he already had the two of us in mind. And it was just a coincidence that Steven had called him and said, this guy, Marcus, is destroying everybody over here. And it's like not even close. So when we got back, we met up with an old coach that was with him. And then we met up with Mark, and they started talking to us, started telling us, like, they would love to train us. And we were like, obviously they had the pro experience. So let's get it. Let's get to work.
That's phenomenal, because I was going to ask you about the whole Pro Box deal, because you've been promoted by Pro Box since your first fight, correct?
Yep.
Wow, so that's so you can honestly say that you're like a day one.
I'm a
You're
day one.
like
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean,
a
that's
pro
when it comes,
boxer.
yeah, when it comes to the stable, I'm pretty sure it was me and my brother right off the bat, because we were here in Florida and they were just opening the facility in Plant City. So day one, me and Marcus. And then after that, I don't remember who came first, but Najee and Blast followed very soon after. And from there, it was us four. It was the four horsemen that we were the prospects to look out for. And honestly, like I said before, I think we're the dark horse, the black horse in this boxing game, because we are a talented group of prospects, and the boxing world needs to be careful.
Very, very talented. I like the whole four horsemen reference. Wow, that's dope that you guys are basically growing together, and you're growing with Pro Box, and Pro Box is just doing it up, man. And shout out to Pro Box. You know the deal. They treat me like family there. I work the fight cards, and I'm blessed, because it's enabled me to develop relationships with you guys, the fighters, with Coach Mark. So
Yep.
shout out to the Pro Box. They are, Pro Box. They are family. They are family, and they're growing, man.
Yeah.
They're growing. So you are potentially part of something that could be really, really big down the
Exactly.
road, man.
That's why I put my faith in them, because everything they did, they've been so loyal, they've been so faithful. So I mean, for me, it was no brainer to stick with them. Everything they do is correct. They literally treat us like family. Gary Jonas, Marc Farrait, those guys they know what they're doing in the sport, and to have them as right there in my corner, I couldn't ask for anything more.
They say a fighter is only as good as the people that are around him, man. So you do have great people around you. Shout out to Gary Jonas, Danny Rubin, Marc Farrait.
Yep.
You're in great hands, man. You're in
Yeah.
great hands. And I am here with undefeated prospect Dominic Valle, who's 10-0, 7 knockouts. He's actually fighting on May 10th. That's a question that one of the chat members did. Ricardo Caravid. Esperando la próxima pelea de Dominic. It's May 10th in Kissimmee, Florida. And I'm not sure how to read this one. Again, my Spanish is so Miradores desde Colombia. So if it appears that Ricardo is a fan from Colombia, shout out to Ricardo, man. That's what's up. We got my sister Superwoman in the building as well. Shout out to you, sis. Appreciate you rocking out with us here on a Tuesday night. Make sure you guys smash that like button, as it will help with the visibility of the channel. And Facebook, make sure you guys hit that like as well. Come over to YouTube too if you haven't, and subscribe to the Hangout spot. This is how we do it up. Let's keep this chat going, man. Great conversation with Dominic Valle. We spoke a little bit about your introduction with Mark and Pro Box, but why don't we get a little bit in depth? Tell me about your relationship with Mark. And the reason why I asked that is because I've interviewed Mark a couple of times, and he has nothing but great things to say about you.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Our relationship
he
is,
loves you. Mark loves you, man.
yeah. I mean, I was just asking this question the other day, and I couldn't put it any simpler than, I've had plenty of coaches in the past, in the amateurs, and with Mark, I've never had a personal relationship with a coach like I had with Mark. He's the type of guy that, he texts me, he asks me, how's my wife, how's my son, how's everybody doing? Make sure I get home safe. He's making sure my family's okay. asking us if we needed anything. You know what I mean? He's on a personal level, and he's like family. He's like an uncle. You know what I mean? That's who he is, and that's why we stay so loyal to him.
Let me tell you something. Some of the things that he said during our interview was that you are super smart, but you're inquisitive. Like you're always asking questions,
Yeah.
right? And he loves that. He said you have a beautiful family and you got a lot going for yourself. One of the things he said that I felt was really impressive as well is that he said, you know, Marcus, I mean, not Marcus, but Dominic doesn't even need to fight, man. He's got so much things going for himself, a beautiful family, he has models. He doesn't even need to fight. But the amount of time and work that you put in, it's like you have to fight.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he said that, man. That was a huge compliment, bro.
yeah. I mean, I love boxing. The modeling is cool on the side. I enjoy modeling now. It was something that was new to me. But there's like I said, this is the one life I got. You know what I mean? And when I found out that this love for boxing that I had, I mean, I was like, "This nothing's gonna match it. Nothing, no other career would fill that hole, inside me unless I've had my boxing career. Like everything else is cool, and I enjoy. I would enjoy acting. I enjoy modeling. I enjoy all those things, but nothing's gonna make you love. Nothing gives me the passion to wake up every morning but boxing.
That's real, man. You know, that's real. And like you said, I follow you on IG and you're a real one. You know, you're always posting pictures of you with the family,
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
wife, with your son, I believe, right?
yep,
You
yep,
know, much respect, man. Much respect. And to be able to, I mean, I don't think people realize how hard boxing is when you don't have a family, right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yep,
then when you're balancing a family, right? Small children at that. It was
yep.
funny for my viewers. So I visited the training facility at Pro Box to spend some time with the fighters, but I usually go in the evening,
Mm,
right? I went in the evening. I spent some time with Lubin. I spent some time with Edgar, but they go pretty late.
yeah.
So when we're trying to set this interview up, I was like, so do you work out late? Are you gonna be in the gym? Am I gonna see you? Because I plan on going at some point next week. You were like, hell no, I got a family, man. I come in the morning.
I mean, my family's number one. My family's number one. You know what I mean? I make
As
sure.
it should be.
Yeah, I make sure everything. I put all my work in early. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. I'm not cutting no corners. No corners are ever cut on my end. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I gotta commit with my family as well. You know what I mean? And if I can't balance that, I mean, if I don't got one, I don't got the other. You know what I mean? And that's the way I look at it. I need both in order to be fulfilled in my life. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes. If that takes waking up at 4 a.m. to get extra work in before they're up, that's what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? My wife, my son, they have no obligation to the sport. That's all on me. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna put boxing on my back. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna make sure that they see their dad, their husband. You know what I mean? And make sure that I'm there for them as well.
Nah, it's dope. That's dope. But like I said, I thought that was funny because they go late, man.
Yeah, they be in there at like 2 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah,
I gotta do mine early, coach.
it was crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Shout out to Mark because Mark literally lives there, man. I mean, he gives all
All
you guys an equal amount of time,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
from
especially.
morning to night. That's insane, man.
Yeah, he puts in work. He puts in work for us for sure. I appreciate
So I
that.
guess so I guess it's safe to say when I hit the gym up in the evening, probably next week, you won't be there for that one, right?
Nah, not in the evening. Not in the evening. I'll be there in the morning. You wanna stop by in the morning? I'll be there.
Absolutely. I don't expect you to be there. That's why I wanted to do this, man. That's why I wanted to do this. But I'm gonna hook up with you. We're gonna find some time, and I'm gonna make sure that you hit one of your trainings and get some footage, spend some time with you. I like to just be there and support the fighters, man.
Yeah, no,
You
for
know,
sure.
all the Mark's fighters, you guys are like family to me. You guys show me love, and I'm always riding with you guys, and that's what that's being around all of you. That's the thing that I find most impressive because for my viewers, if you guys don't know, when one of them fight, and even if the rest of them aren't fighting, they're all at the arena to support, which
Of
is pretty
course.
crazy. If it's local or whatnot, and they're walking each other out, I thought that's dope. And
Yeah,
I asked Mark about that, and Mark said, "Nah, that's the way I want it. They should be there to back each other up, or and to have each other's, to support each other because they're brothers. This is a brotherhood.
and
That's
that's
crazy."
actually something Mark talks about. Mark selects the fighters that he wants in our stable very carefully, and anybody that's gonna break up or cause any animosity between each other, he won't let them in that gym. That's a game he doesn't play. He likes to keep professional. He likes to see that we're all there for each other. And if we're not, or if somebody is, the rotten egg in the bunch, you're gonna be gone.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like that because all it takes is one bad apple, right?
exactly,
To
exactly.
potentially spoil the bunch. So Mark is all about chemistry, and he treats each and every one of these fights. And I've seen it. I've
Yeah,
seen the way he treats these fighters. They're like his sons, you know what I'm saying? And it's a respect thing, and they put in the work. It's just a beautiful thing to be around,
yeah,
and that's
yeah,
why I love to be around it. And I thank him all the time for just again opening those doors for me and allowing me to be a part of your family, the Pro Box family, the Marc Farrait family. So shout out to him, man. But we got my man Team Sly METV in the building. What's going on, champ? Thanks for rocking out with us here on a Tuesday night with Dominic Valle, undefeated, 10-0 with 7 knockouts. We got my man Chris C with a $2 super chat.
Straight cash, homie.
Chris, I appreciate the donation, brother. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. We got Ray Rodriguez. Let's go. Good work, Johnny, and salute champ at Valle. Ray, thanks for rocking out, man. This is a fantastic interview so far, but we ain't going nowhere. So make sure you guys sit tight, smash that like button, and continue to keep the chat going. Team Sly is back. You ain't got to tell me I know about balancing the gym and a family of 9. Ooh,
hey,
Lord.
I only got one. I only got one. One
And
of the
that
ones
shit's
I'm
hard
saying
enough,
that.
Sly.
Woo!
Sly. Shout out to you, Sly.
Wow,
Woo! Now that's dedication. You
that's
know what I
dedication.
mean? Like that's
Sure,
dedication. That's
for
my
sure.
guy right there, man. He doing that shit up, man. He doing that shit up. That's Mikhail. Yeah, family of 9. Damn, Mikhail. Pull out. God bless. Ray Rodriguez.
Yo,
Yo, my community, man, they come out, man. But yo, they give each other shit, but they love each other, man. They come out, man. Daniela, Guerra, your wifey again, man, puts that work in all day, never cuts corners, and is the best dad and husband yet ever. That's an absolutely phenomenal compliment, man. And shout out to wifey, man, for coming in and supporting you and the journey. For you guys that don't know, boxing is saying boxing is hard is an understatement.
exactly.
It's an understatement. It's not just the physical. Let's call it what it is: the physical abuse that these guys put in their body. The human body wasn't meant to take this type of abuse. These
Yeah,
guys are warriors. They're gladiators. That's why I can't stand around anybody that calls any fighter a bum. I will walk away from you. I don't tolerate it. No fighter should be considered a bum. No way. You're risking your life. Anybody who laces up a pair of gloves to go in there and risk their lives for our entertainment is a gladiator warrior, and they deserve nothing but respect. But shout out to the wives, the families, that put up with the commitment, the sacrifice, the blood, the sweat, the tears. Like I don't think
yeah.
people realize how hard
Hmm.
boxing is inside and outside the ring. Not to mention, and this is why I said earlier that surrounding yourself with good people is the best way to go because the business of boxing is dirty.
Yeah. Yep.
It just is, right? Let's call it
Yeah.
what it is. But if you surround yourself with good people, good smart people around you, it makes the journey a lot more easier. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry I got a little long-winded here. There, the interviews are usually they're about my people. I want my people to hear my guest talk. But tell me a little bit about your relationship with your brother Marcus, because Mark told me that that's a special relationship as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Marcus, I mean, we started this together and, in 2011, and that's been my right hand man. You know what I mean? Like we've gone through everything together. Everything that has to do with boxing, we have gone through it together. Nothing has been on our own. Honestly, never missed a sparring with each other. Just watching it, making sure we're there to watch each other spar. Um, Him training me on his free time, me training him on my free time. We have put so much into the sport together. It's created a special bond between us. You know what I mean? And honestly, I can't even forget my little brother. My little brother Kenyon Valle. He's on his way now, and he's in boxing. He's a special talent. I'll let time tell that, but anybody that knows Kenyon knows he's a special talent, and he's on his way up as well.
Mark did mention him as well, man. But when does he? When is he? He hasn't turned pro yet, though, right?
He hasn't turned pro yet. No, he's been in the gym. He's been sparring with good pros. He's been sparring with good pros, and he's been putting in work. Like he's special. He's special for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. How old is he?
He's 20.
Okay, all right. So soon, I would say soon, right?
Yeah, very soon, very soon. He's actually just working right now with nothing as mine but his pro debut. I mean, he's locked in on a whole other level right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Have you so I'm gonna ask a funny question, right? Because you guys are brothers.
Yeah,
So as much as you love each other, you're gonna fight.
yeah.
Have there ever been times where you wanted to wring each other's neck? Have you ever been times where you actually almost went blow for blows? I mean, has there been times like that, or
The good thing is we got a strong foundation with our parents.
that's
My
where it starts?
my parents have instilled into us: you do not fight your siblings, you don't fight your brothers. Those have been, like you said, we're gonna argue, we fight. You know what I mean? But something we've never done is thrown hands with each other. That's something that we couldn't do, honestly. Like, we have too much respect, too much love for each other, and like I said, it just wasn't the way we were brought up. We never laid a finger on each other. If anything, we put the gloves on and we get in the ring. Make sure you got the headgear, mouthpiece, and all of that. And if you wanna talk some crap, we'll do it there. But I mean, other than that, no, we're very close, all of us.
Dope. That's dope. That's dope. That's the ass I expected. That's right, man. If you guys want some work, just put in a little bit of sparring. But you know how it is, especially Spanish, Puerto Rican brothers, sometimes you're gonna bump heads, and you guys are very, very not too far away from each other's age. So you're like right there.
Yeah.
A couple of years separates all of you guys.
Yeah, my little brother is he's about my height. He should be campaigning around 122, and I'm 130. You know what I mean? Marcus is the big one. Marcus is 54, so he's the one that we gotta, when we get in there, we gotta chill it out because he's still big bro.
That's what's up, man. I love it. I love it. I got a message that I want to read to you that's not in the chat. I just got a text message to me. Love the interview, Johnny. Amazing. Much respect to you and your channel. Tell Dominic I say he's my favorite fighter.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
That came from Coach Marc Farrait.
Oh, that's my guy. I appreciate it, Coach.
That's right. I was gonna say that a little bit later. He has told me on a couple occasions that he loves you, man. You're his favorite fighter, and you pick his brain, and he appreciates that, and he appreciates the hard work that you put not only in the gym but with your family as well. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to read that. I just got that on my phone. Coach, thank you for watching. Again, you mean a lot to me as well. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You my guy. And thank you for allowing me to spend some time. I wanted to go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's the relationship I'm talking about. You know what I mean? He's always there for me, and he's always like I said, he's just always making sure I'm good, and he don't miss nothing like me, nothing about me. So I mean, that's why I love my coach. So that's a different relationship we got.
Word. I think I love him too, man. Even though he's not my coach, but yeah, he good. He good money. He all right. He all right in my book. He all right in my book. But I wanted to leave this comment up just a little bit longer, like I said, because I think that means a lot, with your wife, and tell her that I said that that I respect her. And thank you, man. Thank you for not only you coming on doing the interview, but for her to come and support. That means, a lot to me, man. This is a fantastic interview. So I'm gonna give you the opportunity to give me one word that describes all of these fighters right here.
Okay.
You know them very well. They're
Yeah.
all in your stable. Give me one word that describes each and every one of them. The first word that comes to your mind.
All right.
Najee Lopez,
Animal.
Blas Saint,
Technician.
Erickson Lubin,
Hammer. That's what he got. He got hammers for sure.
Edgar Berlanga,
Monster.
your brother, Marcus Valle,
Powerful.
Maximus Cardozo,
Conditioned.
Conditioned.
Okay.
And proud, man. I would say proud too, because I was there the last time that he fought, man. It was just special.
Yeah,
to see his reaction after that fight.
Yeah, he's somebody I've been in there with a lot, and he's one of my best sparring partners for sure.
Last but not least, give me one word that describes you.
Student.
I love it. Perfect answer, man. Perfect answer. I am here with Dominic Valle, y'all. If y'all ain't enjoying it, y'all crazy. If y'all ain't hit that like button, make sure you do that. You bugging out. We trying to get this out. These are the type of interviews that we want to do 2 times, 3 times a week here at the Hangout spot. This is how we do it up. But we got to get this channel out into the algorithm of other boxing fans and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend and subscribe. Let's keep the chat going. Let's keep the chat going because they're showing you love here. They're showing you love. But talk to me a little bit about your style. Okay, give me some fighters that have inspired your style, like some of your attributes. There's got to be guys that inspired your attributes. You know, what put you together as a fighter. Who are some of those fighters?
It's a little tougher. It's a little tougher. Only reason I say that, I mean, I'm gonna give you some names, but I study boxing like nobody else. You know what I mean? If you tell me to mimic a fighter or to do a certain trait that a fighter has, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know exactly how to do it. But I mean, some names that come to mind, obviously Miguel Cotto. I love Gennady Golovkin, Floyd Mayweather, Terrence Crawford, Inoue, Gervonta Davis, Canelo Alvarez, you know, Tito Trinidad. Those are some of the guys that even Lomachenko, they're my go-to, that I like to watch the way they dissect the game. You know, they all do it in such a different fashion, but they're all so dominant in the way they do it. So to me, I enjoy watching the process that they take within their own careers to reach the pinnacle of the sport. And I like to take a little bit of everybody just to add it to my game.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I was going to ask you what your favorite fighters were, past and present, but I'm sure those are all your favorite fighters.
Yes.
That's what you do, right? You watch your favorites and you take a little bit of each, and you try to incorporate that into your own.
Yep. Favorite hands down would always be Miguel Cotto. That's honestly, if there was no Miguel Cotto, there probably wouldn't be a Dominic Valle.
So, is it safe to say, right? Because you know the deal, us boxing fans, when we see a young guy that we're very, very excited about, you know, and then we talk to our friends about that guy, we like to compare them against other fighters, you know, that are great fighters. Is it fair to say, in your estimation, that stylistically you feel like you fight like Cotto? Like, is it fair for me to be able to say, yo, bro, have you seen this Dominic Valle guy? He reminds me of Miguel Cotto. Is that fair? Is that fair for me to say, in your opinion?
It could be. I mean, I have a lot of attributes from Miguel Cotto. You know, my left hook to the body has been something that has repeated itself in lots of my fights that have sat people down and had them rolling on the floor. You know what I mean? And who else do you learn that from than Miguel Cotto? He was one of the best at it. So, I mean, in that aspect, I would say, yeah. But at the same time, we have so many different tendencies and, you know, techniques that we both use. But if there's a guy that I've learned the left hook to the body from, it was Miguel Cotto for sure.
Now that's what's up. That's actually what's up. I like to ask that question, and you know because you never know, right? Like some fighters feel like, you know, they resemble, like, and I've asked fighters this, and they say, well, you know, I think I resemble so and so, and I think if you watch me, that you'll see a little bit of so and so in them. So I like to ask that question. So for some fighters, it's a little bit easier. Others, it's a little harder. But either way, like I said, as a boxer, there are going to be some people that inspire you and you want to be like, or you want to emulate a bit, like the left hook. Like you said, if you're going to emulate anything from a great fighter, it would be a Puerto Rican left hook.
Exactly.
Because you are Puerto Rican. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Dominic Valle, Puerto Rican, proud. He comes into the ring with his flag, with the flag on his trunks. I love it. I'm all about that. You already know how I rep, you know, my heritage as well. Let's stick to Puerto Rico, though. Give me your top 5 favorite Puerto Rican fighters of all time.
Top 5. All right, top 5. I'm gonna try to do them in order. I'm gonna say number 1.
It doesn't have to be in specific order.
No,
It could be just 5. Yeah, no, just give me 5.
All right, so let me give you my 5. I'm gonna do it's Miguel Cotto, Tito Trinidad, Wilfredo Gomez, Wilfred Benitez, and then we'll go Camacho.
Probably my top 5 as well. That's why So I had to hit the air horn, man. Doesn't get any better than that, man. Doesn't get any better than that. That's what I'm talking about. We got a student of the game here.
Yep.
We got a student of the game here, and I love it. I love it. What do you like to do? Tell me a little bit about Dominic Valle, not the fighter. Tell me Dominic Valle, the person. Like, what do you like to do when you're not boxing? Like, nothing related to boxing. What do you like to do? What are your hobbies?
Hobbies, it's tough. I mean, people tell me I should get hobbies because I'm so driven into boxing. People tell me I should get hobbies, but I mean, if it's not just literally chilling with my family, that's one of the number one things. If I'm not boxing, I'm like, let's spend time together. Let's see what we can do just to, relax my body, take my mind off, the sport for a little bit, and even that's hard to do sometimes. But other than that, I mean, obviously, like I said, I love sports. So watching the NBA, watching the playoffs, like right now, so things like that. I mean, I'm a big fan of.
You need hobbies, man. You got to decompress.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what? I just got my house, so I started doing a little bit of gardening. In my free time.
There you go. You got it. You got to find things to do that just take you away from the sport of boxing. I know you're going to spend time with your family, your son. I know that, but sometimes you got to find something that you like to do. Maybe it is gardening or carpentry or something. I mean, it's not for me, man. Manual labor isn't for me, but
yeah,
I'm lazy. I'm good at this stuff. I like to do this stuff behind, but I'm not a manual labor person at all. But you gotta find some time for yourself.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy. I mean, it's tough because people always say you gotta do something you love in your free time. What do I love? I love boxing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna watch fights. Like I you know what I mean? It's difficult. I try my best to because people say you gotta take time to yourself, but when you have no control over your brain, when it's constantly running on boxing, you're just like I said. I'm doing the gardening that I was like, let me just try this. I'll be there and I'm doing what I'm doing. And then my brain is like, I wonder if I slip a jab and I come this way and I come that way, how would that look? And I'll stop what I'm doing just to practice that, just to do it real quick. Like my brain is constantly in boxing and fighting, and everything around me is just a way that I can look at. I use it to relate it to boxing, to think, how can I get better in boxing through what I'm doing right now?
Well, speaking of stuff outside of boxing, like you guys heard in the beginning of the show, not only is Dominic a fighter, but he's also a model.
Yes.
So tell me how that whole thing came about. Let's talk a little bit about your modeling career, because obviously you have two careers.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think it was 2017. Marcus, my older brother, he got a message on Instagram, and we thought it was, spam, how it is, fake message, like probably trying to steal money, all that. So we kind of brushed it off, and it was like, it is what it is. But then like we looked into it, and we're like, as long as we don't give out like nothing, let's just see what this person is asking, asked if we, if Marcus ever thought about modeling. So Marcus was like, why not? So we went to Miami to go meet these people that wanted, to meet us for modeling. We'll just meet Marcus. Went to Miami. They told Marcus, when we went to Miami, went to the studio, they told Marcus, you have a harder look. You're more of a New York type look. So you would do better in like with working with New York companies. So we're like, okay, we actually met somebody for New York. But while we were there, they saw me. And then they asked, they're like, well, would you actually like to model? You have more of a, softer Miami type look, So I was like, and they said, would you like to model? I said, why not? You know what I mean? It's not going to impede on my boxing. It's something that I can do on the side for fun. So why not? Why not? I mean, so we talked to a guy named Andrew down there in Miami. He's the first one that signed me. But actually, we were first noticed by my manager, my agent now, who's Jendi in New York. And he's the guy that really pushed us through and really got me through the door to start doing what I'm doing. And I didn't think it was going to take off the way it did, but I'm blessed that it has.
That's amazing, man. Who have you modeled for so far?
All right, just to name a few. Most recently, I just did Versace. I've worked with Frank Ocean for his jewelry brand, which is Homer. I've worked with Adidas. I've worked with Nike, Jordan, Dick's Sporting Goods. I've actually, my very first modeling job ever was with Finish Line with Migos, the group. So they were there, and I got to meet them, and that's when I was like, this is legit. You know what I mean? This is the real deal. So when my first job being that, I was like, I got crazy potential in this. If right off the bat I'm getting a job with Finish Line, you know what I mean? So that's when I was like, I'm gonna put more of my marbles into it. You know, I'm gonna keep most of my marbles in boxing, but I could put a couple over there.
So I don't know if you know, you might, because I think we've had conversations off the record, but I interviewed another fighter, a young fighter, who's about 3-4 fights in, Alexis Chop Chop Chaparro, who I believe you know very, very well.
Yeah, that's my man. Yep.
Yeah. And you guys have something in common because he's also a young fighter who's also a model as well.
Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. When I first met you, I thought about him because I had met him first.
Yeah.
You told me that modeling isn't easy, man. And I'm like, well, how hard can it be? But he broke it down. Like, do you agree?
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I've seen Chop Chop's his style of modeling, and being in the industry, his is I'll give him more credit for his. His is difficult. He does a lot more runway. He does a lot more, very big name brands. He's got a very good career in modeling. For me, I would say modeling is time consuming. That's what it is when I get there. It's mostly time consuming, but at the same time, I like taking pictures of me. It's no big deal for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, people are like, yeah, you nervous. When I actually walked New York Fashion Week for Willie Chavaria, and I met Noah Lyles, and we were hanging out. We were talking. He went back and forth, and I walked the runway for Adidas and Willie Chavaria, and that was one of the biggest ones I'd done. And people were like, you nervous for this? I was like, I mean, I fight in front of people for a living. You know what I mean? All I gotta do is walk now. I'll be all right walking.
Wow. I wanted to get your perspective on that. Is modeling something that you want to continue to do for the rest of your career, or is this just something you feel like it's just for another now and you're taking advantage of it? Like, do you love it as much as you love boxing that you're willing to do both of them, balance both of them? I guess is my question.
As of now, definitely. I mean, the experience of modeling, the people you meet, the places you get to see, the places you go, all that it's a whole nother world, and it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to see your face, on things that you were looking at since you were a kid. You know what I mean? And to be the one there now, when I walk into Dick's Sporting Goods, I see my face on the wall. You know what I mean? And people that know me are like, "Is that you?" Like I went to Dick's Sporting Goods. Like, what are you doing there? I'm on the side of buildings in New York City, and Blast and Najee sent me a video, and we're like, "Yo, this is you out here that I didn't even know I was there." You know what I mean? So like, that feeling is so rewarding. It's indescribable. I mean, boxing is a love that I have deeply, but that being on those scenes is a whole nother feeling. I never even looked for, but I got it.
Amazing, man. I know if I see you, I'll be like, yo, that's my boy right there.
Yeah, I know. I can only imagine. I can only imagine how people like that know me, when they see pictures like that, they're like what? Because I don't even know that they're there. You know what I mean? I was actually out in London too, and somebody sent me a picture and was like, yo, this is you out here in London. I had no clue.
That's amazing, man. Dude, take advantage of it, man. I mean, every opportunity that comes your way, man, just take advantage of it. I know you will.
Definitely.
You're a smart guy. You got a good head on your shoulders. You got a good family behind you. Just take advantage, man. You only live once, man. YOLO, man. You only live once, man.
And that's the life that I live. That's why, like I said, I got time for my family. I got time for boxing. I got time for modeling. I got time for all that, because you only live once. You know what I mean? And what am I gonna do? Say I'm too tired for something different? You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. I'm gonna pack as much as I can to every single day. And if I'm not doing that, I don't feel good about myself.
Your brother came out for you, brother.
See, that's my boy.
We were just talking about you. We were just talking about you, champ. I can't wait to see you in the ring. I can't wait to see you up in here. In fact, I may have to do one of these with all 3 of y'all together.
That'd be ideal.
We gotta work on that, yo. You gotta work. You gotta let your brothers know, man. Shout out to you, Kenyon Valle. That's my brother. Yeah, we may need to do one of these and just go round table with you guys. I think that would be pretty dope. We gotta work on that. We're gonna stay in touch, champ.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be dope.
We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna do it because this is how we do it up here at the Hangout Spot. We do all kind of shit, man. We do shit that's never been done before. If you guys haven't hit that like button, make sure you hit subscribe, tell somebody else to tell somebody else to tell somebody else to subscribe to the Hangout Spot, because this is how we do it up in 2025. We're here with Undefeated Dominic Valle, who's 10-0, 7 knockouts. He's going to be fighting on May 10th. I am super, super excited. One question I like to ask, and again, I know I had you on here for long, so I'm going to be wrapping it up soon, but one question I want to ask you, because I know you're a true student of the game, I love asking this question, is if you were going to build the perfect fighter, right, and you had to pick one fighter, past or present, for the following attributes. You can't pick the same fighter twice.
Okay.
Who would you pick for speed?
As funny as it sounds, I mean, Ryan Garcia's speed is ridiculous. I'm gonna be real. His speed, and there's people like Pacquiao that had amazing speed, Sugar Leonard, but I mean, he's got some speed that definitely shocks me. The type of speed he's got.
Okay, so we'll stick with Ryan. That's a good one. Power.
I say Triple G.
Footwork.
Lomachenko.
Defense.
I want to say a name, but I don't know if IQ's coming in this question.
It is.
Okay, so defense. I say Shakur, defense.
I think I know who you're going to say for Ring IQ then. Ring IQ?
It's Floyd.
I knew it.
Floyd all day.
I get that one a lot. Heart and determination.
Heart and determination. I'm going to put me.
Okay,
myself.
I like that.
Heart and determination. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And last one, because we live in a day and age where you need it. People think they don't need it, but you do need it. Star appeal.
Star appeal. Oy.
The way they market themselves, the way they, social media. It could be a lot of everything, right? Star, somebody wants to see.
I might listen. I might get hate for this because people don't consider him a boxer, but the fact that he has a professional boxing license, one of the best, and I already said Floyd. I would have said Floyd again for the star, but the person that's selling himself better than anybody right now in the game is Jake Paul. People can say what they want. He's not a boxer. He's this and he's that, but he knows how to market himself, and if you can't pay attention to that and realize that he's marketing himself in a way that's drawing eyes, you're not being honest to yourself.
I love it. No, you're right. And this is how you build the perfect fighter. You just build the perfect fighter, man. That's dope. You're right. I mean, people can hate Jake Paul all they want. I say it on this channel all the time, champ. You got to give him his credit.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give him his credit. I mean, what he's doing, most valuable promotions. I mean, what he's doing for women's boxing. I mean, putting on events in Netflix, 60 million, 70 million people, Netflix falling apart. Regardless, whether you love him or you hate him, you got to respect what he's doing for the sport of boxing. I'm a proponent where anybody that puts more eyes on the sport of boxing is a positive for boxing, because this is the sport that I love.
I agree. I said the same thing. Is you're bringing more eyes to the sport, no matter which way you're doing it. I want boxing to be as mainstream as possible, and that's something that he's definitely doing just because of the social media following that he has. It's look at the what's it called, the Misfits boxing. They're doing so much celebrity boxing now that people just, when you just hear the word boxing so much, it draws you to the sport.
I mean, you nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. I love your answers, man. I love your answers. And another reason why I love you is because your family comes out for you, man. Grandma even came out for you.
Grandma, yes.
Valle, appreciate you. Appreciate you coming out. This is awesome, man. It's just a testament of who you are, just not just as a boxer, but as a human being. The family loves you. They came out for you. And this is what I like to see, man. This is what I like to see. The family coming out, showing you love. Appreciate you guys rocking out with us here on a Tuesday night with Dominic Valle. Man, this was amazing. This was absolutely amazing. I do want to ask you one question though. I just like to ask people fighters this question because I love to eat. What do you like to eat when you're not in training?
Ooh.
When you're like, I'm not in training, so I can eat this.
My number one meal is lasagna, but it has
I
to be
like lasagna too.
gotta be homemade. I'm gonna be real. I've never had a lasagna better than I mean, not better. I've never had a lasagna in like a store or in a restaurant better than the way my wife, my mom and my dad, and my mother-in-law make lasagna.
Amazing,
my sister-in-law too. I'm not gonna lie, her too. Hers is great too. I got my top 4, and I stick with those top 4. And if anybody wants to make me a lasagna, I'm cool. I'm good. No, thank you. I got my 4 people that make my lasagna. It's actually a tradition. I eat lasagna before every single fight.
Really?
Yep. And it just goes back and forth through who cooks it. Either my dad, my wife, my mother-in-law, or my sister-in-law. Between the 4, and that's my tradition.
So that's obviously after. Is that after the weigh-in?
Right after the weigh-in, I have it packed with me. You'll see me in the venue still with my plate of lasagna, cooked by whoever.
That's dope. That is dope. What about after your fight? What's your go-to after your fight?
It's different. It's different every time. I'll tell you my sweet right after the fight that I've always been like that's what I want. It's always been Oreos. Oreos have been my number one thing. After every fight, straight to Oreos. Got to get at least a pack, and it has to be the peanut butter chocolate kind.
That's what's up. So that's the hardest thing to cut out while you're in training, or
that ain't the hardest. That's the word. I can't have that at all in training. So that's
that's why it's got to be the hardest.
I can see how it would be hard, but I mean, when you are so understood that this is like absolutely not like lasagna. Okay, I love lasagna, and that's kind of hard. That's hard to cut out of training because you're like, I could eat a slice of lasagna, post training, maybe on a Saturday, because that's good. But there's never no excuse to have an Oreo or have a pack of Oreos. You know what I mean? There's no excuse there. There's no good reasoning behind it.
This has been amazing, man. This has been absolutely amazing, man. What do you want to say to your fans, man, going into this next fight?
I want my fans to know. I mean, May 10th, honestly, it's gonna be a different me. It's gonna be trust me, from my last fight to now, I've made extremely big leaps in my progression. I mean, I'm a different fighter than I was my last fight. I have matured. I have understood the game more. I'm getting more situated into the pros, and May 10th, you're gonna see a new Dominic that that nobody's seen before, and you're gonna hear about it.
I can't wait. Where can my viewers find you, man? If they're crazy enough not to be following you on social media, where can they find you on social media so they can follow you?
It's the Dominic Valle on Instagram. I got a YouTube that I'm gonna start up because I'm gonna start doing a lot of behind the scenes. My TikTok, the same thing, the Dominic Valle. I'm gonna start posting a lot more there. Start getting you guys behind the scenes, footage of fight camp, of training, day of the fight, weigh-ins, all that good stuff that people, they don't get to usually see. So that's where you can follow me on all those, and we're gonna start pushing out the videos.
That's an excellent idea, man. The more that you can market yourself and put yourself out there in social media, the better. I mean, you got it all, man. You got the brains, you got the brawn, you got the good looks. So that's how you market yourself in the sport of boxing.
Yep.
People don't realize that, but it's important.
Yep.
Boxing is a business at the end of the day. And you got to be able to do that. And my man Dominic, he has the total package, man. Listen, anybody that comes to the Hangout spot, I didn't need to tell you this before, but you family, man. You are family. Anytime you come here, you family. You're welcome back anytime. I need to get you back. Again, we'll talk after May 10th. We'll get you back up in here. We'll talk about that performance because I know you're going to blast this guy out. I can feel it. We're going to take care of business, and then we're going to talk about what's next in 2025 because I know that you probably want to stay active, because you've been out for 9 months. So take care of this one first, on May 10th, and then we'll talk about what the future holds. But this was an amazing interview. And champ, like I said, man, you know, I rock with you, so I'm gonna stay in touch with you. I will, tag me in your stuff. I will share it.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we'll continue to move forward, man. And I'm always gonna have your back. You know that. I'll be there May 10th as well.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the love, man. For real.
No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on. And again, we are going to have you back very, very soon, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Let's get it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dominic Valle, man. Again, 10-0, 7 knockouts. The future is extremely bright, man. The future is extremely bright, man.
Appreciate it. I appreciate
No,
it.
I appreciate you, brother. I just want to make sure there's no other family members that are here that I didn't leave out. We got David Garcia. Kid has his head on right. Very impressed. Yes, very impressive.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jersey Bob, I was watching Amir Khan earlier today. His speed was amazing. Well, I mean, that, again, it's, I asked that question, but everybody has a different perspective. But I haven't got a bad answer yet. Those Italian roots for the lasagna. But Chris, see this shit on the Oreos.
Oh, that's crazy.
I like Oreos, man. I love Oreos myself. May 10th, Pro Box TV, Macau. Yes, May 10th. If you guys don't know, Pro Box TV, the card's going to be insane. We got Erickson the Hammer Lubin, headlining against Ardrell Holmes. There's a lot of tension there against two guys that know each other from the amateurs. If you guys haven't seen the stuff that's been going on with them in social media, I think were you there?
I wasn't. I actually got there the next day.
You got there, okay.
It was in Vegas.
Yeah, you got there in Vegas, man. But and then we got my man Dominic Valle, we got Darrell Blasval Saint, we got Najee Lopez, light heavyweight. All these cats are undefeated. Marc Farrait has an amazing talent, amazing array of talent in his group. He's gonna be a busy guy. He's gonna be a busy guy that night.
That night, definitely.
Say the least, man. Jiva Med Spa will be out at the fights May 10th in Kissimmee, Florida, showing our support. Well, come say hi, Come say hi too, man, because I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there live and direct. I'm his mom. I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that.
Listen. I don't know who have like most of this person right here, like the med spa. That's her new job. So I was like, I didn't even think that was her name.
Well, there you go. Mom came to represent, and you didn't tell me that was Mom Duke.
Company. I had no idea that was even the med spa. Now I know she was. I know that name.
Wow. So luckily, I decided to read the rest of the chats while you were on. Shout out to you, Mom. Mom,
always love my mom.
Mom, if I could say something, Mom, phenomenal job with the children that you've raised, man. Phenomenal job. He's a great young man, bright future, very smart, knows what he wants. It's just it's an honor to have him on, but more importantly, to be a part of this journey. Like, I want to see his growth. Like, I want to be a part of that. And that all starts with Mom Duke, man.
Yep, exactly.
That all starts with Mom Duke. So you lucky guy, man. Again, you got really good people around you that love you, not just in the gym. But Uncle Chris, here we go. Look, you didn't even tell me Chris was an uncle.
I'm gonna be. Listen, I got these glasses on for a reason. When I see the name.
Yes, Gladys, we recognize you. We know you, Abuela. We know how Abuela do. This was phenomenal. Man. But my appreciation to you, the family, everybody that came out, man.
Everybody support. I mean, my family, like I told you from the beginning, my family's number one. They supported me since my first amateur fight till now. All of them, every one of them. My mom, my dad, my uncles on both sides. My grandparents, my grandpa, like my abuelo. He's actually the person that started the whole tradition of boxing in our family. So he's one of the roots to the sport that we do.
Phenomenal. Mom said, thank you for having him. No, you don't need to thank me for that. Thank you. Like I say, for just allowing me, like, in the time, for allowing me to be a friend and be a part of your journey. That means a lot to me, champ. It really does.
Of course. It's all love. I mean, and I can feel the genuineness that you have. So I admire that. I mean, I appreciate you even taking the time out of your night to have this interview with me.
All good. We'll set up some time, and I'm gonna see if I can see you at the gym, man, for sure.
Definitely. Let me know, and I'll let you know if we could link up at that time.
All right, brother. I'm gonna let you go, man. All right.
All right, man. Have a good night. Great talking to you. I'll see you May 10th.
See you May 10th. You'll see me before then. You'll probably see me before then.
I'll see you before then. Whenever I see you. But May 10th, we'll put on a show.
All right, champ. Take care, man.
All right, man. You too.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, man. Marcus Valle, man, my guy, bro. He doing it up, man. Bright future. I spent 10 minutes with him, in November on a card that he was supposed to be fighting on. And he was disappointed that he wasn't fighting, but he gave me some time, and it was phenomenal. It was one of those that I walked away. It was like, yo, I gotta get him on a live show. And I don't even think I was doing live shows yet. I had started doing live shows in December, and I wanted to get him back on because I wanted to give an opportunity to my viewers to hear his story, man. It's a phenomenal story, man. Coach Marc Farrait, who's my dude, my guy. I appreciate you, Coach. All love here. He's doing a phenomenal job with him in the ring. Spoke nothing but high. He just spoke nothing but good things about Dominic, and I can see why. I can definitely see why, and you can see he has a strong support around him. Great family. Wife who loves him and supports him and cares. Who was here. To support mom, grandma, uncles. I mean, this is great, and this is why I like to do these interviews. I love to do these interviews because I want to introduce this person, this fighter, to my community. Because let me tell you something, man. There's something. If y'all ain't seen him fight, y'all gotta check him out, man. Y'all gotta check him out. I'm telling you, he's the goods, bro. He is the goods. But and I appreciate all of you guys for coming out. Mikhail, yeah, good luck. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be live and direct May 10th in Kissimmee, Florida. Pro Box Card is putting together one hell of a card from top to bottom. Like I said, Erickson, the Hammer Lubin, 154-pound title contender. I believe this is a title eliminator for an IBF title, if I'm not mistaken, against Undefeated Ardrell Holmes. Two guys that have some history in amateurs. A lot of animosity there. Obviously, they kind of went back and forth. It was captured on social media. Where they saw each other in Vegas in a gym. So, there's no love lost there. And to me, that's just going to make for an even better, more intense fight on Saturday, May 10th. And then you got, again, middleweight prospect, Darrell Blastval Saint, undefeated Marc Farrait fighter, undefeated light heavyweight, ton of potential. Najee Lopez will be in the building. And Dominic Valle, 7-0. 10-0 with 7 knockouts, super featherweight contender, prospect contender, will be in the building as well. It's going to be an action-packed card. I can't wait. I'll be there live and direct. Make sure you guys tune in because Pro Box never disappoints. Pro Box never disappoints. They family, but they always pick the best fights out there. And they're only growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I can't say enough for what they're doing for the sport of boxing, for more importantly, the love that they're showing me as well. So it's going to be great, man. But boxing is on fire, man. Right now, boxing is on fire, bro. Y'all been hearing all the fight announcements that have been going on, not for nothing, but I mean, this summer is to me is shaping up to be the biggest and best summer in the sport of boxing, man. It's just that we've seen in years. I mean, this weekend we got Chris Eubank against Conor Benn in a grudge match. We'll be talking a little bit more about that one on Thursday's show. We'll break that down a little bit. I'm actually going to be having middleweight contender Thomas Cornflake Lamana, my guy. You know the deal. He's my dude. We've had him on the show before, but we have not had him on the show ever since his big fight against Jamal Charlo, May 31st, is going down. Caleb Plant is going to be fighting on that card. And we also got Jamal Charlo making his return against my guy, Thomas Cornflake Lamana. So we got to get Cornflake up in here. I was able to see him this Saturday at the Fights in Caribbean. And I got to get him up in here to get his thoughts about that fight. Because a lot of people are counting him out. But I don't know, bro. Screw what they say on paper, man. It's what happens in the ring, man. It's what happens in the ring. So we're going to have him on Thursday, and then we'll also talk a little bit about this, obviously, this Chris Eubank and Conor Ben grudge match that's going on overseas Saturday, sometime in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about that. I think that fight is going to be very, very intriguing. But I mean, and then next week, the week after that, we got the weekend, man. We got the weekend, the Cinco de Mayo weekend. We got the big one at Times Square. Ryan Garcia against Rolly Romero. Devin Haney makes his return against Jose Luis Ramirez. Then you got Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barboza in a grudge match. Two guys that hate each other. Again, y'all know the deal, how we rock out here in the Hangout spot, bro. I love those fights where it's spicy, where they hate each other. To me, I don't know, man. It just makes for good intrigue before the fight, right? Really good intrigue. So, those three fights are going down Times Square. Times Square, New York City, something that's never been done. Times Square, New York City. We're going to have a fight in the middle of the street. Like, it ain't going to be on the street, but you know what I'm talking about. They're going to set up a ring in Times Square, the same place where they set up the ball drop on New Year's Eve, man. We got a boxing match, 3 great fights that are going down in New York City. It's never been done before. Shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh and Riyadh and Ring Magazine, and they're putting in together all these things that have never been done in the sport of boxing. Things we've never seen. We got to be excited about it, man. As a fight fan, I'm excited about it. I wondered how they were going to be able to pull that off, but regardless, we got to be excited about it. So that's going down Friday, May 2nd, after this weekend. And the weekend, like I said, 2 weekends from now. Saturday, you got Canelo Alvarez making his return, going for undisputed 2 times at 168 against William Skull, the IBF undefeated champion from Cuba. That's the main event. You got Jaime Munguia in the rematch against Bruno Suras. A lot riding there. Obviously, Jaime Munguia was cooking that first fight. Suras landed that punch that just put him to sleep. But this is boxing. This is what happens in boxing. You can never, ever take your foot off the gas and get comfortable, because you will get clipped in the sport of boxing. You will get clipped in the sport of boxing. Bruno Suras proved that it doesn't matter how many knockouts you have in the sport of boxing. If you land a perfect punch anytime in the fight, it could potentially put that guy that you are fighting to sleep. He knocks out Munguia. The upset, here we are in the rematch. That's going down on that card Saturday. Heavyweight clash between Martin Bakole. I call him Holy Moly Bakole. I ain't tripping over what happened against Joseph Parker, man. I mean, that man took that fight on 2 days' notice. He was out of shape, no training camp. He was over 300 pounds. Hey, he showed up. Joseph Parker did what he needed to do against a guy that just wasn't physically prepared. That happens. This is boxing. You can't play boxing. But Bakole has had a full training camp. So do we see the Bakole that we saw against Jared Anderson? That beat the brakes off Jared Anderson. The big baby Jared Anderson. He's going up against another hard puncher, Effie Ajagba. And you guys know you can't blink with the heavyweights. They don't disappoint. The heavyweights don't disappoint, bro. So that's another fight on that card. And then Sunday, May 4th, the return of the monster, the Japanese monster, Naoya the Monster Inoue. Undefeated, undisputed in 2 weight classes. He's coming back to the U.S. We've all been saying we're tired of seeing this dude fight in Japan here in the East Coast, when we got to get up on a Monday at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch this dude fight. Well, he's fighting in Vegas on Sunday, so we get to see him at a normal time. He's fighting on Sunday as well. So, I mean, fight weekend is going to be crazy. After this weekend with Eubank and Ben, we got that weekend in the beginning of May. We got hella fights, man. Not to mention, man, I hope did y'all see? Did y'all see what was announced this week? This is what it is, bro. July 12th, New York City. The day after, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor Part 3 headlines the big room at Madison Square Garden. We got another fight in New York City, headlined by my guy, the chosen one, Edgar Berlanga. Yeah, of course, people are going to hate. Edgar's headlining against Hamza Shiraz, Turki Al-Sheikh's boy. A guy that is moving up from 160 to 168. A guy that I thought lost against Carlos Adames in his last fight, was awarded a draw. I thought that was very, very generous. That's just me watching that fight, and I've seen it twice. I thought Adames won that fight. Either way, Hamza Shiraz, a big name overseas. He's Turki Al-Sheikh's boy. He's undefeated. He's moving up a weight class to challenge my guy Edgar Berlanga in a WBC title eliminator. It's going to be fire. He's headlining. I can't wait for that. We're going to do our best to be up in the building with that. You already know the deal. Shakur Stevenson is fighting on that card. An anticipated fight against William Zepeda. Check out my screen, yo. Check out my screen. This is the fight card that they're putting together. Ring Magazine is putting together this fight card in New York City for July 12th. If you ain't excited about that, you bugging out. Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda, a fight that should have happened last year, a fight that obviously has been marinating. Shakur Stevenson has wanted this fight for quite some time. William Zepeda, undefeated, a guy who's going to come forward, apply a lot of pressure. We need to see Shakur pressed. Alberto Puello, the 140-pound WBC champion, defending against Puerto Rico's Subriel Matias, who not so long ago, before the Liam Paro fight, was being called the boogeyman at 140. That fight's going to be for the title at 140. That's going to be crazy. David Morrell making his return from that David Benavidez fight. People have been giving him a lot of credit for that fight, for going the distance, for putting forth a very, very valiant performance against a pound-for-pound fighter in David Benavidez. Iman Kataev, he's fighting. That's going to be a crazy fight. So look at this card, man, that I have on the screen, man. If you're not excited about what the sport of boxing is doing this year, then I don't know. I don't know what's going to excite you, man. I don't know what's going to excite you, man. You know, Dave Blues, what's going on, brother? Thanks for rocking out with us here on a Tuesday night. Great interview with undefeated super featherweight prospect Dominic Valle. If you guys tuned in late and you didn't get a chance to watch the entire interview, make sure you check it out. All of my live shows go right on to the Hangout spot on YouTube immediately after. You can check it out. I'm also streaming live right now on Facebook. If you guys haven't hit that like button, make sure you smash that like button, as it will help with the visibility of the channel. If you're watching this on record, do the same. It's going to help us get this channel out into the algorithm of all the boxing fans. So then we rock out 3 times a week. We're getting into 3 times a week. This week we're only going to do 2 times, because tomorrow I actually have my little cousin, man. My little cousin, who is 4-0 with 4 knockouts, Peter Voodoo Lattori. Just been named one of the top 100 welterweights in the world, in the U.S. That's my little cousin, man. He family. I'm going to get him on the show too soon. I've done interviews with him in the past, but I got to get him on the live show. Anyway, he just won his 4th fight by stoppage. He's 4-0 with 4 knockouts. Peter Lattori. If you don't know him, look him up on IG at Voodoo Lattori. And he's going to be on the Boxing Voice tomorrow. He's actually going to be interviewed by Nestor Gibbs at the Boxing Voice tomorrow evening on the evening show. So I kind of want to be on hand for that. So we're not going to do an evening show tomorrow, but we're going to be right back at it on Thursday. If you guys watch the Boxing Voice, make sure you check out the Boxing Voice and make sure you support, man, my little cousin, Peter Lattori. Great young man, smart. You know, he's a former Marine veteran. Started boxing late. He's working his tail off, going to school, getting degrees. I mean, he's a great, great young man. You guys are going to fall in love with him after that interview. I'm not even saying that because he's family. I just know what type of young man he is, man. He carries himself well. He speaks well. So make sure you check out the interview tomorrow on the Boxing Voice tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. He will be on with Nestor Gibbs. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal interview, man. We got to get his name out there, bro. We got to get his name out there. Dave Blues should be free. Which one you talking about, Dave Blues? You talking about Saturday? Eubank against Ben? If you're talking about Saturday, I absolutely agree. They're charging $25 to the American public for that fight and a shitty undercard. As far as name recognition, and you got Liam Smith on there. I mean, I'm not interested in that fight. I mean, you have the trilogy between Anthony Yard and Lyndon Johnson. Not interested in that. So if you're talking about this weekend, the one that Turkey Al-Sheikh and them are trying to charge us $25 for, headlined by Eubank against Conor Ben, yes, I agree. It should be free. It's nasty work.
This is nasty.
Nonetheless, I think the main event is intriguing, but I'm not in any rush to pay 25, 30, 40, whatever it is. I believe it's $25, might come out to like $27 and change with tax. It should be free, especially to the American public. I know that's a big fight overseas, but again, not necessarily a big fight here in the US. I'm just keeping it 100. So if you're talking about that, I agree. But if you're talking about Belonga, that card, and all the other ones, man, nah, bro. I mean, these cards are fire, man. I think that card on July 12th is fire, man. Mikhail Cornflake for president. Yeah, that's my guy, man. We got a chance to chop it up on Friday, man, at Caribbean Royale. I was live and direct with the Box Lab card that was streamed live on the Zone. You know, good young talent on that card. So we got a chance to chop it up. And I didn't do a live interview with Cornflake because I wanted to save it for Thursday night. We'll have him on Thursday night. And we'll not only get into the Jamal Charlo fight, I'm sorry, but Cornflake has a promotion company, and they just signed a deal to stream his fights on his card fights on the Zone. And I believe the first card is going to be streaming this weekend on Sunday, the Zone. So I want him to come on and talk about that as well. That's a big deal because at the end of the day, he's been promoting for years. I believe he's been promoting for as long as he's been a fighter, which is about 13, 14 years. I could be mistaken, but you know, you're setting up life after boxing. You know, he's 34 years old. Who knows how long he's going to fight for, but what you're trying to do is just trying to set up that promotion company for success after your career is over in boxing. So that's a big move, man. You know, that's a big move to have his promotion, you know, now, you know, signing that TV deal with the Zone. So I want him to talk about that as well. That's something that we have not talked about on the live show. So make sure you guys tune in Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thomas Cornflake Lamana will be joining us. He will be live and direct. Day Blues says Rolly might upset. Hey, you never know, man. You never know. I mean, Ryan's coming off that year suspension. I doubt it. You know, I doubt it. I just think if Ryan catches Rolly with a left hook, man, I don't know if Rolly is going to be able to withstand that. That's just my opinion. But Rolly could crack too. You know, Rolly could crack too. So you never know, man. But this is why we watch the fights, right? It doesn't matter what we think might happen on paper. It matters what happens in the ring that night. Who's the better guy that night? And this is why I love the sport of boxing. Mikhail says Jared Anderson was a kid, but Coley was his first step, and he was advised it was too much, but he wanted that check. I agree, Mikhail. I don't think the people around him really necessarily wanted that smoke for him. I knew when that fight got announced, I was like, wow, I give Jared a lot of credit. That's a big step up against a big puncher, a strong, mature, older puncher, natural puncher in his prime. Jared Anderson is a young guy, but he went in there, man. Listen, you know what I call it, man? I never say a loss is a loss. I always say a loss is a lesson. He learned his lesson. It can only make you better, or it can kind of deter you from being great and discourage you. We'll see. I mean, his last performance, I wasn't necessarily impressed with. I mean, he did win, but it looked like, you know, in certain points in that fight, Jared Anderson didn't even want to be in there. So I always question Jared Anderson's desire more than anything else. I think the skill level is there, but do you have the heart? Do you have the desire to want to be great, to want to be the next great heavyweight, American heavyweight? Do you want to be a champion? Do you want to be a unified champion? I always question that. I always question that with Jared. I always question if he was that guy, or if he was that guy that just wanted to make enough money, you know, to live comfortably the rest of his life and then just bail out. If that's the case, then you got to be careful with that, because you can't play boxing. You know, in the process of doing that, if you go in half-ass it, you know, you can only hurt yourself. Day Blues, fire. No, I appreciate you, man. Fire. for everybody that came out to rock out here Tuesday night edition of the Hangout Spot Live. This is how we do it. I love doing this. The chat was cooking today, and I appreciate everybody for coming out. We had another great interview with Dominic Valle. Again, if you haven't watched it, or if you didn't see the whole thing and you're just tuning in late, make sure you check it out after this. It will go right onto the Hangout Spot on YouTube. While you're there, smash the like button on this video. If you're watching it on recording, do the same. Subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to the 2,000 mark. We need to get to that 2,000 mark in subscribers, and we've only been doing this for a year. But as fast as we grow and we get that subscriber count, you guys know the deal. It's power in numbers, man. We want to get the bigger and better interviews. We got to get some more numbers. If this is a train right now, I want to make it into a locomotive. I can't do that without you guys, more subscribers. So spread the word. Spread the word. Share. Make sure you let people know about the Hangout Spot. This is how we do it up. Biggest and best interviews, great boxing talk, very, very laid back. I love it. I couldn't do it without my viewers out here. I appreciate it. Again, no show tomorrow because my little cousin will be on the Boxing Voice, and I want to check that out. Peter, Voodoo, Latori, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you check it out at the Boxing Voice. But then Thursday, we will be back to talk boxing with Thomas Cornflake Lamana, and we'll talk a little bit about the Saturday card as well. Headlined by Conor Benn against Chris Eubank Jr., the grudge match that most people over in the UK are looking for. I don't think necessarily the people over here in the United States are looking forward to it. Nonetheless, I think it's going to be a good scrap. But anyhow, I'm going to tap out, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking out with me here. As always, this is your boy Johnny. We are signing out from the Hangout Spot Live, and I will talk to everybody on Thursday. Appreciate y'all.